Well, in the great words of Cletus McFarland, a.k.a. Garrett Mitchell, DEGA, it's over with.
Done and over.
Done and over. Yeah, it was. I felt like it was lackluster. I think the most entertaining part of it was listening to Cletus, Garrett, whatever you want to call him, talk.
Yeah.
Even the press conferences, they were great. Somebody asked him if he was schizophrenic.
Really?
Or not. To an extent. Well, he called himself out and called himself schizophrenic. It was one of these things they asked about the when are you Garrett and when are you Cletus type thing.
Like it.
Yeah. So, welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is DEGA week rolling into Texas. My name's Jordan, accompanied by Josh.
Howdy.
And we're going to roll right into it. We had no trucks this week, so it was pretty much ARCA Race took over the truck spot on Fox, you could call it. Lawless Allen won the race. It was a pretty interesting race. It had some good moments to it, and it was up and down. Good teammate running. Cletus ran top 10, even with the broken valve springs. What he pretty much said it was, not a bent, and running 7 cylinders, which is pretty crazy. Third place was the highest placing woman. I had that wrong in my notes. She was third, Isabella Robusto. And to give anybody out here listening to this podcast a mental snapshot of what she would look like, think of Sheldon Creed with long hair, and she looks like the female version of Sheldon Creed.
They got me related.
It's wild. It is wild. But it was kind of cool. Thad Moffitt got second, and it was fun to watch. It was entertaining. Xfinity was fairly normal with RCR running up top. Sheldon Creed led some laps, but Sheldon Creed got bit by the Sheldon Creed bug. Almirola wrecked the leg, Catherine leg, but this time, because we've been on her pretty hard the past few weeks that she's been racing, it wasn't her fault. His spotter, actually, Eric Almirola's spotter, messed him up and cleared him, and he was just like, oh yeah, or he's like, it's like, you're clear. He starts moving up, and the spot's gone, so he takes her out and takes himself out.
Both out of the race then at that point?
Yeah.
And Xfinity cars don't hold up to accidents very well.
Nobody would, even a cup car wouldn't have handled this one. It was a bad hit.
High speed.
Yeah. Zilich got wrecked on the last lap. He was blocking, and then the two turned him. So, true RCR fashion.
Might have gotten hurt, too.
He did get
lower
hurt.
Back injury. He's not racing.
Yep, he is. That's one of the big news that we have. Kyle Larson's going to be...
Sorry to bust your bubble.
Yeah, there's no bubble to bust there. They did throw the caution flag for that, and Austin Hill won the race. Jeb Burton was pretty PO'd. I totally get why he was, because the camera angle that they kept showing on TV on the CW, I don't know how in the world they could figure it out. People were out there like, oh, look at this. You can see he was in front. It's like, you're at an angle. The cars are going to look different at an angle. And so I think he got Parker Kligerman, and NASCAR took it from him. But, if NASCAR is going to be making these decisions, people were saying, why not race to the end? I get it. Race to the end, even though it was a hard hit, he's out of the way. You could have had safety crew coming up behind him, because they're not going to come around full speed again. It was the last lap. And then it was another one. It's like, if you're going to call it by timing lines, use the transponders. Where were they with the transponders? Tell us that, instead of saying we're looking at the photo evidence of it.
Yeah.
Because these cars have transponders. Now, it all depends on where the transponder's put on the car, too. So, but that shouldn't matter if they're in equal spots. That was the big stink. Jeb went on his interview that CW gave him and just totally ripped him out, saying it was bad.
Yeah.
And he couldn't figure it out. Moving on to Cup Series, Zane Smith won the pole. That was that was interesting to see that. Nothing bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
They conservatively ran most of the race. I mean, I put in here conservation mode and Cup Series are two sets of words that should not be together in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Especially 9 laps into the race.
It's a shame that that's how it is.
Yeah, we were talking about that Sunday, and they should either make a smaller fuel cell or a larger fuel cell so that this is not a thing. It's getting silly. Toyotas came in and pitted, and they started rolling. They said, we see your fuel conservation, and we raise you a big beep you.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran it out and they ran hard. Seabell got wrecked pretty hard.
Very hard. I never saw. Did you see any? Did they come out with any G-force anything, like any statistics?
I don't think so.
I do love how poor the Fox. Look at that radiator going across. That was not a radiator.
Yeah.
A, there wasn't steam.
No.
B, that was the intake.
Yeah.
Like, how long have you been around racing, dude? Like,
right.
How'd you know that wasn't a radiator?
Yeah. I don't know.
Some professionals Fox hires.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, oh wait, that's the air cleaner. Like, no, that's not the air cleaner. That's the duct work from bringing it in from the front.
Yeah,
of the
it
car.
goes from like the tube. It goes the front bumper and it carries it up over to the top of the motor.
Yeah, because I think on those intakes, most of them actually go for cooling, and they get their intake from the front, in front of like the front cowl area.
Okay.
From the windshield.
Gotcha.
Is where the intake for the engine goes.
Yeah, less debris that way too.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's probably like a cooling duct work.
I think it's a mix. I think they do take some from.
Either way, it's not a radiator.
Right. Yeah. No.
Like, dude, come on. What follows a car running 200 degree coolant?
Yeah.
Steam.
Yeah.
There was none of that.
No.
Like, so okay, it wasn't.
It's crazy.
Love it.
Keselowski and Busch got into it. That was the first wreck. Blaney was the big loser in that one. He's had a heck of a time.
Yep.
Busch came down on Keselowski. They kept looking at him. Oh, we don't see a handout. They think maybe he was trying to pit. I don't know, but he wrecked him. I mean, Busch is starting to hurt himself now.
Yeah.
This is getting annoying.
I'm fine with it.
Makes for good stuff. Bubba got the second stage win, and Cindric aggravated, we'll put it that way, his teammate, because apparently his teammate, he didn't push Joey, and Joey wanted the win, and so he was yelling at him and cussing at him on the radio. And it's one of those things, it's like, a lot of people are like, well, if he would have pushed you, you would have wrecked, and there would have been everybody wrecked. And at the same time, it's like, just go it's not for the end of the race. Who cares? It's team orders. Watching a TikTok about that. Team orders. Apparently, old Chastain causing some issues with the Toyotas, with the Yodas, doing stuff like that. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me if it is team orders or not. The last stage was pretty much caution-free, which it got to be a snooze fest. It was boring. I hate to say it, but I'm losing interest in watching these races when there's a ton of green flag, and it felt like nobody was lead changing. They're sitting there jockeying for position right there in between, but you're only moving back and forth a little bit, not like making runs. And NASCAR's got to do something with these packages. Yeah. Super Speedway package sucks totally.
Needs to be more in the driver's hands.
I think so. And apparently, I'm kind of going off tangent here, but I was listening. Apparently, I think it was Ford said, because Denny came out and called out with the All-Star Open idea that they want to do run whatever you got. And Ford's like, it's not going to cost us the money that Denny Hamlin says. He's like, it's not even going to be anywhere near that number. Yeah. We can just go out and run it. Yeah. Like that. I mean, that would still be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You had the All-Star race. You have the special promoter caution that can be ran. You have just about, make it interesting. I didn't like it at Bristol, but it changed it. Yeah. Instead of it being at Charlotte. It's an exhibition race. Let's run it. But anyway, getting back to DEGA. Cindric and Priest were battling it out. Cindric won his third race of his career. 2 super speedways, 3 super speedways, something like that.
At least 2.
Yeah, I guess maybe one of them was a road course at Cindric, because he's supposed to be good at road courses, or used to be, we'll say. I don't know if he still is or not.
He might be good. There's just so many other better drivers.
Right, because that's what he dominated in Xfinity was that.
I mean, there's a lot of, honestly, really good road course racers in the Cup Series right now.
Right.
They're all kind of figuring out ovals, but they really are good road racers.
Well, Matty D used to be in that list.
Yeah.
McDowell, he's up there.
Yep.
I mean, you had Truex back in the past. Chase, he's currently it now. So, I don't know. It's one of those things that, like you said, you got people that are stronger in road course. I mean, heck, we haven't mentioned his name recently because we went to one road course, SVG.
Yeah.
That's all he does. That's all he did for years.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was. I didn't like it. I didn't like the end of the race. It was kind of boring, dull. I hate this idea that we're just going to sit back and ride until the last lap, too.
Yeah.
Last 2 laps.
It hurts the traditionalness of Talladega. It hurts the wide open 200 plus miles an hour, like super bird days, you know.
Yeah, well, Elliott set the fastest lap at Talladega. So I can't remember what it was, like 2:15, something like that.
Yeah.
So you have that. Then Fox doesn't help themselves.
No.
I mean, it was they went back from their side by side with 5 to go. I made a comment on somebody's Facebook page that said at least Mike Joy knew what lap it was.
Yeah.
Unlike Bristol.
I don't understand. They probably don't get to watch races much. Like, I don't know how many of them actually go back and watch broadcasts. Side by side is not great. Like,
no.
There's no noise.
Right.
You're just watching cars in a pack driving a circle. Like,
yeah, I don't.
It's just kind of like they act like it's like a really cool thing. It's like it's not. It's
not
that great.
I think a problem too.
I kind of lose interest when it goes to side by side.
Yeah, I just turn it off like it's.
I mean, most of the time I'm streamed, so I have it recorded. So I skip commercials anyway. I will skip side by side just like a commercial.
Yeah.
If it's side by side, I'll just go until it's full screen.
So I'm watching it on Max, and I pick a driver, and I'm watching their cameras most of the time.
Yeah.
So that's how I'll have
it's just like
going on.
I don't know if they are detached from reality, but like side by side is not good.
So I know the announcers have to be, because I remember Junior was talking about this with NBC, and Boyer was kind of like, he would get frustrated with them because he would want a replay of something, and it's not that hard to queue up a replay if you've ever been in a production truck.
Yeah.
I mean, you just tell the guy to queue it up, find the camera and queue it up. But anyway, he got frustrated with them. Junior said, I got yelled at. I think not word for word what he said, but it was one of those things where they would try to keep him straight and correct him because he would sit there and watch the race out the window rather than what was on TV.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, is because if you go to a race, we've said it before, you're going to watch the middle of the pack more than you're going to watch anything else because it's more entertaining.
You're watching most of the racing, not just leading. Yeah.
Or Kyle Larson, or Chase Elliott, or Denny Hamlin. You want to watch some of these other guys out there.
Yeah.
And it's the best part of the race but TV won't show it because they want to show the leaders, or they have their niche group that they want to show. It's annoying. To me, it's annoying. So
they have a story to tell on a particular driver,
right,
or two.
Oh, don't get me started on that nonsense. Well, I'm sorry, guys.
Already did.
Yeah, the pit crew. That's cool, but you don't need to put them side by side to tell me about Jim Bob Sweeney that played defensive linebacker for Miami University and couldn't make it any further or hurt himself. Now he's a pit crew member. I don't. That's whatever, but
they're riding the team sport thing, trying to make it like,
hey,
NASCAR's cool too.
Right.
I don't care if it's cool or not. I like it.
Yeah. I don't need to know about the crew, pit crew. If I do, I'll go write an article about them, make a video, like a social media video about them.
Yeah.
Do something like that. That's cool. But Joe Gibbs puts a lot of things out of the guys practicing with their electric. They have an electric cup car that they run. They threw a battery in and stuff. And I mean, shoot, do it there. I don't need to see it during the race. I want to watch the race.
I think that's where they're probably trying to tap different markets. There's probably people that really enjoy the broadcast, like a newer watcher, like a more urban NASCAR watcher. They probably really enjoyed the show.
It's probably a small minority.
And your traditionalists are kind of like, just give me the noise in the cars and the whole 39 cars. Like, I want to see them all.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what
something happens up front, which rarely does. Talk about it, but otherwise, talk about the other storylines, all the other stuff that's going on.
Or if you want to go go side by side with the smaller one as the lead and whatever you want to talk about in the other ones.
Yeah,
something like that.
But I think there's just two tracks of thought when they're doing broadcasts. I think Fox has really gone with new market, new money. Yeah. We'll be fine. We'll keep the old people. They're not going to go anywhere. We need to tap into a new market. Let's change it up and let's.
I'm finding myself more and more wanting to watch Max, or just listen to it on the broadcast or the app, than to sit there and listen to Mike Joy, Kevin Harvick, and Boyer talk about stuff, and then Larry McReynolds coming, piping in. Granted, they don't talk near as much as Steve Letarte, which. Don't get me started on that. That's a rough one. We'll talk about that when Prime's stuff comes up in the next few weeks.
But I agree. PRN and MRN, I really like the broadcast. That's awesome. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. I wish you could sync it up with the race. Yeah. Whatever you're watching on. And Max does a good job too now. So you don't have to go out and buy the $20 a month $20 a year on the app. Yeah. You can, if you have an HBO or Max subscription, you just pull that up and you have the driver cameras. Yeah. I hope they do that throughout the season, not just. So that's a good. I like that idea. Yep. Of it too. So moving on from there, we talked about how Cindric won the race. NASCAR issued. So we'll skip that. We'll go back to that one first. Priest and Logano were disqualified, and I think they took Josh Berry's car back to R&D. So they were disqualified. Priest, too many shims in the spoiler, and Logano for missing a spoiler bolt and so that makes Joey look even worse for whatever you want to say, because he's sitting there complaining at the end of stage 2. It's like, who cares if you were up there and won the race? You still got disqualified. Yeah. So that was the big ones there through the Cup Series. 2 Xfinity Series teams were fined money. Let's see, where was it? Jordan Anderson 87, which is, can't remember which one that was. Anyway, and then Viking Motorsports 99, which is Matty D. Each fined $25,000 for violations related to rear bumper covers. So that, and then the news that you had mentioned earlier, Connor Zilic is out. I believe I saw Kyle Larson's replacing him in the 88.
Did you see the details on Priest's deal?
With the shims?
So there's they had 2 in it, but they were too low or something like that. Okay. So they went and put a third one in. And NASCAR's like, we don't watch people when they go back to the garage after they fail. We just let them go do their thing. And so that's why it happened on Friday. Okay. But then didn't get caught till after the race Sunday. Okay. But there's a rule that you can't have more than 2 shims at a super speedway. So he already had 2. To me, it's like, okay, they knew if your spoiler was too low, they knew they had to add a shim. Right. I don't fully understand all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's lots of tweak. Obviously something's either bent or modified to where if you can only have 2, and if 2 isn't enough to meet spec, what was off? Right. So they went and let him go back to the garage. He put a third shim in, and then post race they go, well, you had 3 shims in. That's illegal at super speedway. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
you said 2 didn't have enough height. We put 3 in, and then we failed because we have more than 2 in. It's I don't understand.
Yeah, that's weird.
But that's essentially what it was. They said he was probably trying to beat spec coming into pre-race by only having the 2 in. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know what they can modify and what they can't, but
Right.
essentially they were like he was trying to get every little bit of aerodynamics out of it with pre-race, and then ended up biting them because they had to put a third shim in, which ended up making them illegal.
Okay.
So,
I mean, NASCAR and I'm going to lump ARCA in here because they're kind of the same thing. I think NASCAR, I could be wrong on that. I'm not going to speak. They seem to be shooting themselves in the foot a lot when it comes to different things. So speaking on that, going back to like penalties and stuff like that. So you got Venturini Motorsports in the 55 have been fined $3,500 and placed on a probation for the remainder of the 25 season. And Isabella Robusto and Billy Venturini penalized with loss of 18 points and so on. They had NACA duct vent airflow issues, tolerance levels, and then references to the spring seat mounts. Then Nitro Motorsports had an issue with Thad Moffitt and Nick Tucker. The big one that I saw was pretty stupid was Garrett Mitchell and Rhett Jones of the Rhett Jones Racing number 30 has been fined $5,000 and remains on probation for the remainder of the 25 season and required to complete driver safety training as directed by ARCA for a second violation, which references driver personal safety equipment. So that one, and then there was one more about window net safety. That one bugs me because you have your biggest name that's in your sport, brought so many people to watch. I mean, shoot, NASCAR had their own live YouTube of Cletus's in-car.
Oh, really?
They live streamed it on YouTube.
Yeah, they were really soaking up his fame.
Yeah, so much all around. And the thing that's annoying to me is you're going to allow Fox to go out there and talk to him before the command. We're dealing with ARCA cars who they don't have a lot of people.
Yeah.
You got a guy that's never really raced.
2 races and he didn't finish the first one.
Yeah. And then you're going to say he forgot to put his Hans device and neck restraint stuff on.
Yeah.
And you're going to sit there and peg him for it. It's like, how about you don't hurt your biggest guy and then just pull him aside and be like, hey, look, you need to have this stuff on before you get in the car. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and, we're going to find. I mean, a rule's a rule, I guess, but at the same time, if you're allowing media to go in there and talk to him like right up to the command to start,
right?
What do you expect?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing that I didn't like was that whole thing.
Right.
So anyway, that's pretty much all that I saw that I had stuck in my mind. Fairly short.
Yep.
It was dull and boring, the race. Moving on, you got anything you want to add?
No, it was pretty cookie cutter weekend. Nothing too crazy. Just super speedway, limited package, fuel saving race.
Yeah.
No big accidents to really. I mean, Bell's was a huge accident.
That was bad.
Anymore, the cars flip over so much that they're not really. The safety equipment seems to be doing a really good job. I mean, the car seems to be pretty safe. Because I'd love to go back. I'll have to find out G-forces. That was a hard hit.
Yeah, I wonder.
I mean, it blew the whole front end apart. I mean,
right.
It pushed that driver corner like way back. The hood stayed up, and there was engine parts coming out of it across the track. I mean, it was a wicked hit.
Yeah, and apparently too.
I mean, 20 years ago, that would have been, someone would be flying a helicopter off the racetrack, taking them to somewhere. You know what I mean? It was
right.
So the car is doing a good job from a safety standpoint. I'm glad nothing flipped over, and some of the even some of the designs. You think that the Kyle Busch and Keselowski, those cars could have flipped over with certain aero designs. They went into the grass and stuff. Like they did pretty good. The cars did pretty well.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty funny how fast Logano or Blaney was going backwards after he got clipped, and he got it squared away, but he was in reverse still.
Yeah.
He looked like he was doing like 80 miles an hour in reverse, driving straight.
Let's see if they see. I just pull something.
He's a really good driver too.
Backstretch wall is going to be modified. it's a spot apparently that it's been hit numerous times. The spot that he hit was not a safer barrier until last year.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I don't understand how people are so neglectful of like this is a premier racing organization. Who in the safety department, like the safer barrier people, like who's not looking at this track going, why is that wall dogleg towards the racetrack?
Right.
Why don't we straighten that out? Like, I just don't understand why, like, how does an accident have to happen before they figure out that it's a bad idea? I just don't get that.
So, to give you an idea, I believe that's the spot where they, Junior and...
Came out in the video?
Yeah, and Cletus came out in the video and did the burnouts in
Yeah.
the truck, the Dale truck.
But we're talking on some, I don't know, the Hauler podcast or something like that, and they're saying how, it's going to be changed before fall. Like, if it's that quick and easy to do,
Why
wasn't it done
originally?
Who was doing a safety check to figure out, like, hey, what can we do to make this track safer?
Have you seen the safer barrier up close? Like, paid to look into it so much. It's amazing because it's just like the pink foam.
Yeah.
You buy at Home Depot, and then aluminum, probably not aluminum, but metal railing around before the concrete.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how low tech it is, but how well of a job it does.
Simple.
And then to your point, why can't we do this plastered everywhere?
Yeah.
I mean, make a mobile safer barrier.
Yeah.
Like at Martinsville where they open it up. That's a safer barrier, I'm pretty sure. Why can't we do anything like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be able to find
I thought it was
something.
interesting how they're like, it's going to be fixed before fall. It's like, well, it should have never even been there. Like,
Right.
straighten that wall out. It's crazy to think you could come down a racetrack and hit a dogleg wall that comes out towards you.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I don't see anything about it on here. I thought I was
Yeah.
going to see something. But
some
yeah,
of the guys wear those mouth guards and stuff that have
right.
G-force in it. I mean, it was a hard hit. I bet you it was every bit of 60 Gs.
Well, you got to be able to find it in the SMT data
Oh, yeah.
to do the math on acceleration and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they record all that. Why not?
I just never seen a cup car collapse as much as that one has in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, that whole front end was just, it did its job. It's
Right.
kind of like the Volvos in the 90s, how they, claimed the cabin's designed to, really absorb the force. Like, it's going to buckle around you, and then it keeps the cabin intact. Like, that front end collapsed, which is great, because that's all that time and space to absorb impact.
Mm-hmm.
And he was chit-chatting after his, his checkout.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
that's
wild.
crazy.
It is.
But good, I'm glad. But, like, why was that wall there?
Right. Yeah.
But touching on the, where Dale Jr. and Cletus came out with the Dale truck, it was fun to watch because that just happened like a couple weeks ago.
right.
It was cool to see the burnout marks on the backstretch.
Yeah.
If you looked during the race, you could see the 2 burnout marks.
I wasn't paying attention, but I saw a lot of people talking about it.
That was pretty cool. It's like,
Yeah.
how different the track looks empty versus full.
Right,
It was just kind of a cool like
Yeah,
snapshot.
it's pretty
but
neat.
yeah, if you haven't seen it, go check Cletus's channel out. There's an old truck series chassis that he fixed up to be 4-wheel drive and
Yeah.
has about Dale Jr. ran it at about 1,500 horsepower, twin turbos out the bed, a whole 9 yards. But
yeah.
it has potential to go more horsepower than that. But
Baby steps.
yeah, it's just it's fun to see someone who spent a lot of time in a race car, his reaction to 3 times the amount of horsepower that they give these NASCAR guys.
Well, they were talking about it. I don't remember if it was on the broadcast or if it was in his. It was in his press interview because he was right after Ricky. He was talking about the car, and he said, Dale Jr. chicken footed it, and somebody came out and said, you're probably the only person that can get away with saying Dale Jr. chicken footed something.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, if somebody chicken foots it, we're going to call him out, and we're not going to let him live it down.
Yeah. It's just authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's why his page is growing, and why people like him so much, but
Yeah.
it's also to the point that I'm not saying rules aren't rules, but I agree with you on like, all right, this guy races 2 races. How many million fans did he bring with him
Right.
to the NASCAR series?
I'm,
And you're not nitpicking, but like, it's not like he put anybody else's safety in danger.
right. It was at the start of the track, and he stopped it and corrected himself.
Yeah, like it didn't need to be as big of a deal as what it is.
Let's see if I can find that live stream. Just to get a.
But
The live in-car camera that was streamed 5 days ago for him had 807,000 views.
yeah,
The pre-race, I mean, his
and
videos.
I haven't seen that. I mean, think about the amount of people he brought.
Right.
'Cause I haven't seen that video.
Yeah, this is NASCAR brand. This is on NASCAR site. 698,000 views on his race reaction, pre-race reaction. 200, and this is the one that got him messed up. I think 252,000 views, and NASCAR on Fox with Kevin Harvick and Cletus on DEGA Boulevard. One day ago they published it. 258,000 views.
Yeah,
So this dude is bringing in, and that's not even his own channel. That's
right.
NASCAR on Fox and
Right.
whatnot.
Which I would say 80% of his fans aren't regular followers of NASCAR.
No, I agree. Yeah,
Maybe even more.
yeah.
The channels that I found out about Cletus, they don't watch NASCAR.
Right.
So like,
Well, even the guy, like, you go back and look at the people that he had at the Freedom 500, Chris Fix, and people like Whistling Diesel. They're not NASCAR. I mean,
No.
maybe Whistling Diesel is, but
yeah,
I mean, these guys aren't going out there doing that stuff.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, for sure, that's one of those things that I don't know why you would sit there and, if you, like you said, if you're gonna enforce it, enforce the time that media can have with them.
Yeah.
Don't do it based on TV constraints.
yeah. Here's my opinion on NASCAR's direction. They seem to be going more towards that Seattle market, that LA market,
Okay.
versus going towards Cletus's market. You know what I mean? They're tapering everything towards that urban consumer.
Right.
Getting somewhere that they don't currently have watchers. I mean, they know the Deep South. Those people are fans. Like,
Yeah, right.
they know they're there.
Right.
They're almost taking that for granted and searching out more money by going into these other. I've heard them talk about trying to get into new markets.
Yeah.
Going to Mexico, wanting to go
Right.
Canada, wanting to go. Like, they're in these places in a small way. But
Right.
they want to make the
Yeah,
big
'cause
series, but like we were talking about, Cletus's fans aren't NASCAR fans.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't.
No, they're
And it's like, I could see NASCAR. They're using him to try and tap that market,
right.
to get more fan base. But I would prefer Cletus does a better job with his races than what NASCAR does,
Yeah, I think so.
and they're probably on 1/10 of the budget
right
or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah, I think you could almost narrow it down even more on his fan base. These are people that are running out there out on weekends at local drag strips, going out there running,
Or even short
with their
track,
car.
like
Yeah, short track, your
like,
dirt track
you
racers.
ever seen
or
Cars
whatnot.
3 demo derby?
Yeah.
But
Go
like
to-
dirt racing,
like the one-
figure 8 racing.
The thing that
like,
kicks to me the closest is going to the Buck.
yeah,
Those kind of
Yeah.
people
yeah,
that want to watch somebody fix a car up and run it
Right.
and wreck the crap out of
right.
it.
It's like the new grassroots.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah,
But it's just like, I'd rather see it go that direction and get more grassroots style fans than going towards this urban market. I mean, look at all the street races they're adding in. Street racing comes from, I'll say, money comes from F1, road
Right.
racing,
Yes.
Porsches. Like, they're going towards this direction of
Well, they
that
don't-
market.
I would even argue that it's not even it's Formula One. Not a lot of these other people do street races. I mean, besides Formula One, the only other quote unquote street race that I can think of is Le Mans, and that's only a small section that's
Yeah.
street race.
Yeah,
Everything else is within the track.
yeah,
So yeah, I think they're jealous of Formula One. Kind of like how Formula One fans, I've read this is speculation that some of the Formula One fans, like over in Europe, they're complaining because us in the United States have 2 races.
Yeah.
3 races. We have 3 races: Vegas, Miami, and Coda. And people are like, go look at the United States. It's over the side,
Right.
bigger than Europe itself.
Right.
Europe, not just Italy or whatever. So
everyone's got opinions on stuff.
yeah, I think you can do both. Going back to your comments about NASCAR, if you make the racing more entertaining, you're going to get your grassroots people happy.
Yeah.
And if you do, I mean, the people that are coming in to NASCAR, I mean, Harvick, California. Matty D, California, I think. I'm pretty sure he's California.
Yeah.
You know.
Johnson was California, I believe.
Jimmy was California. Reddick, California.
Yep.
There was another guy. Who was it? It's from the same town as...
Larson was California, I believe. Wasn't he?
No.
Not originally?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. I forget where he's from.
I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you have a lot of that. You have that. You have New Zealand. You have Mexico racers. Every so often, you got a Canadian racer. So I think you can do it that way by bringing people in that are from those areas. Oh, Lake Speed was from that's who I was thinking of. Lake Speed from the past. He was a Bakersfield, California guy as well.
Yeah, Elk Grove, California for Larson.
Okay. So, I mean, you have all these guys that are coming. I mean, shoot, Middle America. Northern part of Middle America. Like Minnesota, Wisconsin, those kind of areas. You get Illinois. You got drivers from there. They're not... Truex was one. Mayetta, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Whoever heard of that? I mean, now granted, you had your... whatever you want, ARCA series now running up along New England because Priest, Connecticut, Joey Logano.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So it's... I think that's how you go after the new fans. Bring in some young blood that's like a Reddick and then Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
That's the way I see you do it. And then make the racing fun for everybody and you'll keep your grassroots people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But that's why NASCAR doesn't
But when
pay
you
us
have
the
Talladega and you got guys running 18% throttle, nobody wants to watch that.
No. I'd rather watch a paint dry or the Puppy Bowl.
Puppy Bowl.
So.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Well, should we get into Texas?
Yeah, let's move on to Texas. Let's look at our odds, and then I'll have a special call here for our schedule. So I broke down our odds here. We have our front runners: Larson, Byron, Reddick, Blaney, Hamlin, Seabell. Mid tiers are Elliott, Bubba, Logano, Ty Gibbs. Now these are all your mid tiers are plus 1,600, plus 1,800. Don't go gamble. If you have a gambling addiction, 1-800-GAMBLER, I think is what it is, whatever. I don't know. Larson's plus 475, so I wouldn't be picking him to win if you weren't trying to make money. And then your long shots, you got Chastain, Briscoe, Kyle Busch, Josh Berry, Bowman, Busher, Suarez, Cindric, and Hocevar. And to kind of give an idea, the Xfinity Series, Ryan Sieg almost won it last year.
Yeah.
But, like, look at some of these, like, hey, it wasn't Haley, it was Burton, Harrison Burton. I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe it was Haley. They won their first race because of rain out at Daytona. That was Haley that did that. But, I mean, so that's where your long shot can come into, unless, you know, Austin Dillon decides to wreck the whole field. Which wouldn't be a surprise. So,
you have a pick?
Man, I'd like to see Ty Gibbs do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be more like a Blaney or a Hamlin again.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Blaney get out of this, you know, not get wrecked every freaking time.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I'm going to see Bell.
Okay. Solid season
No
performance.
pun intended. I'm going with a bounce back.
Aiming for first Texas win. Larson won it last year. Then Byron and Reddick both won the past 2 years. Byron consistently finishes top 5. A lot of different things. And then you got like Elliott's trying to end the 37 win.
Who's that? Oh, Chase Elliott. I've heard of him. Yeah.
Oh, what's it?
I didn't know he still raced.
What's his real name? I can't remember his real name off the top of my head. Oh, it's something silly. Anyway, yeah.
He's been nowhere.
He has been nowhere.
Poor guy.
No, it's not poor guy.
Hurts himself and then falls off the map.
Yeah.
He hasn't been much anything since he got hurt.
Clyde. That's what it is. Yeah, well, I think it's even since he got fined for quote unquote wrecking Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
That's where things change.
I think he's got an attitude problem.
Could be. Yeah, between himself, his skiing accident and everything else. So let's see if we can get this thing queued up here.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was calling in to our show.
Calling in. Let's see if I have this right. I gotta make sure I have the number right. Here we go, Brady.
That's if you were a fan of my Glass Case of Emotion podcast, of course. It's Ryan Blaney here. Thanks for calling. We're getting set for a big old Wild West showdown in No Limits, Texas. If you need help
So he
tuning
calls
in,
them glass
I've
holes.
got you covered.
Because of
Press
Glass Case
1
of Emotion.
for the Cup Series schedule. Press 2
We'll go
for the
backwards.
Xfinity Series schedule. Press 3 for the Craftsman Truck Series schedule. Press 4 to hear
Let's
about
go
my
trucks.
unique pet. Giddy up! The Craftsman Truck Series races on Friday, May 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1. To hear that information again, press 1. To return to the main menu, press 2.
Good old call thing.
Glass holes unite. Well, that's if you were a fan of my Glass Case of Emotion podcast, of course. The Xfinity Series saddles up on Saturday, May 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern on the CW. To hear that information again, press 1. Glass holes unite. Our race weekend gets started with practice and qualifying on Saturday, May 3rd on Prime Video. Then, we go racing on Sunday, May 4th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1. To hear that information again, press 1. To return, Glass. Here's a fun fact. Did you know Texas Motor Speedway was once home to the world's largest HD LED video board? It got upgraded in 2023 and is now 10% bigger. It's 22,692 square feet, which is equivalent to 4,331 42-inch TVs. I should really get one for my house. To hear that information again, press 1. To return to the main menu.
So, yeah, that's...
I don't know why he always talks like that when he comes on our podcast.
Yeah, I know. They So just to recap, Friday, Truck Series practice at 2:35, qualifying at 3:40, 8 Eastern's the Speedy Cash 250. They're going 167 laps with stage breaks at laps 40 and 80. It's going to be broadcasted on FS1. Saturday, we got Cup Series practice and qualifying starting at 11. And as Mr. Blaney said, that'll be on Prime Video. We have the Andes Frozen Custard 300 for the... I don't even know why they didn't give me Xfinity qualifying at 2 Eastern. Andes Frozen Custard 300. They're going to run 200 laps, running 300 miles. So it's rough. What, a mile and a half is what that is? 1.25. Anyway, it's going to be on CW. PRN's got the broadcast, not MRN. On the radio, stage breaks are going to be at 45 and 90. And then the Worth 400, 267 laps, 400.5 miles. And we're looking at stage breaks at lap 80 and 165. This is going to be broadcasted on FS1.
Xfinity practice 5 p.m. Friday on CW app, and qualifying at 6:05 also on the CW app.
Okay. So that's why it didn't pop up, because it's not going to be on the TV.
Yeah, it's on the app.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
Yep.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hope you guys are enjoying these paint scheme reviews that have been posting up. I got to figure out when to get the next one up.
I love them.
They're great. The information that comes out of them is just grade A, top quality.
It is.
So I don't know how often we're going to do this because I got to come up with more ideas. If you guys have any ideas of crazy things you want us to do on the podcast, let us know, especially whenever we start getting video feed up and running, which will be more entertaining than just hearing it. We have something new to try out. So we've tapped into the Joe Rogan smelling salts era, doing that, which has been crazy. What I have, and you can hear, is what is called Grenades Gum. It says explosively strong. It is first the explosive mint blast, then the flavor. Let's see if I can pull this. I got this on Amazon because I can't find it anywhere else. There's a warning that's covered up by the Amazons. Thanks, Amazon. Oh well, we're gonna roll with it. The warning label is just ridiculous.
It ships.
Yeah, right. Have you seen those Kmart commercials from a long time ago? It says you can ship anything, and the guy they're like, "Oh, I just shipped my pants."
Oh yeah, those were the best.
I just shipped my bed.
Those are so funny.
They came out with a new one, a new one. You know, Kmart, being how old they are, it's knickers, like the pants. But the way that they ran, it's like, oh my gosh. So here we go.
Really risque.
Yes, very much so. And they did one with gas too, apparently.
Oh yeah, I believe.
Oh man,
went all out.
Yeah.
Seeing what they could do to get canceled.
That was back when you couldn't get canceled. Warning is small objects like gumballs may inadvertently become lodged in the throat. Gumballs are not appropriate for small children. Keep out of reach of children. I thought that was going to be a much better thing. So we'll end the podcast here. The suggested serving size is 1 piece. So
that should be plenty.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's really. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
This is like Vicks Vapor Rub.
Oh man, does it have a flavor?
It's lemon.
Oh, lemon, Loco lemon.
Yeah, you know, little birdie told us you like lemon, so
I do like lemon. I'm into it now.
All right.
Going? All right, here we go. It's an 8 out of 10 blast factor.
It's like if you would have put. Wow, my nostrils.
This will clean you out.
Yeah, it will. It reminds me of the. I'm trying to think of the word. It's like putting like 3 or 4 of those like halls in your mouth.
Yeah, like a cough drop.
Yes,
it's like a chewable cough drop.
Mm-hmm.
2 stage though. Have we hit stage 2?
I haven't hit stage 2 yet.
I think we're waiting to shift.
So while we're waiting on this shift, so Nathan, the lead monkey ringleader on the paint scheme reviews, his team, when they win, they do the taste of victory. Last year they were doing Big Red Gum.
Okay.
Well, they have a couple kids that have braces on their team. They can't do chewy stuff anymore.
Okay.
So we found them Fireballs.
I love Fireballs.
And these are like knockoff Fireballs or something. So they got them for the first time last week. Or Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember what day that was. They won game earlier this week.
Tuesday,
okay.
I was there.
Yes. And so they get them out, and the kids are like, "Oh, these aren't too bad."
Oh yeah.
And then it hit them.
Let them hit.
And boom, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is too."
But the end is the best.
Yeah.
It's a great candy.
And so today when they won, they go and there's one kid on his team who's like, "Man, I'm waiting for stage 2 to hit. Come on, stage 2. Come on, stage. Oh, there it is right there." And Nathan's got his in his mouth and he's like, "This ain't bad. I must have gotten a dud or something." And he took a swig of his water. He's like, "Oh, no, it hit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Kids being kids. Root beer barrels and Fireballs, man. Those are classics.
Yeah. Well, Rebecca likes just any kind of regular cinnamon candy. She's like, I want the hot cinnamon.
Yeah.
But like the gummies, can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
Like we've tried to find them other places and just can't. Like we get them and we're like, oh, this is no fun. This sucks.
Yeah.
So
this is good.
Yeah.
It's
Clears
like
out.
it's like a chewable cough drop at first.
Yeah.
But I like lemon, so this is good.
I'm kind of getting into the lemon now. Yeah, I think it's great. Like if you have any sinus issues, allergies, anything you need to clear up,
Yeah.
grab you some of this gum.
Grenades.
Yeah. I think it was like $8 and there's what, how many in here? Like 60?
Yeah, a good bit.
30 pieces of gum in here. And they have different flavors too. They had like, we were looking at berry or whatever. Like, no, I can't do that.
Lemon's where it's at.
Yeah, this one's not too bad.
Good deal.
Yeah, we'll end it there.
Notable, if you don't get a chance to catch the paint scheme review, which I recommend you do because they're not only slightly informative, they're very funny to watch.
I'm gonna try to hit that tomorrow.
Daniel Suarez car looks amazing. It's
Okay.
It's the Kubota orange, but they almost have it like a gray washed logoing all throughout the orange.
Ooh,
where
okay.
it's tacos, cactuses, cacti, I guess.
Nice.
It's really cool looking. But yeah, that's a notable car for the week is Daniel Suarez's Kubota car.
Also, don't drink water with these because that burns. It burns going down.
Burns.
The mint. It almost feels
Stage
like,
2.
It almost feels like you're smoked a pack of Newports without having to smoke cigarettes. Without the cigarette aftertaste.
There you go.
So,
Good deal.
all right, we'll see you guys after Texas, and have a great weekend.
Yep. See you next week.